Hi, it's Carolyn, the contest queen, and it is my monthly sweepstakes Q&A. And I have questions. I just realized they're right behind me on the printer. I had a little bit of technical difficulty. And so I got it straightened out just in the nick of time. What I have found is every month when I set up my sweepstakes Q&A, I ask if anybody is having what have they won and what do they want to learn. And two people wrote me that they're very discouraged. They're not winning anything. So I thought, let's talk about, I'm going to grab my tea. Let's talk about dry spells, because that's something that happens to every sweepstaker at some point. And it's not easy when you're not winning to be in a mode that you want to keep entering. Because at some point you think, what's the point? But what I want you to do is keep going. Now, let me read the two statements, or because they're more like statements, they weren't really questions. Because this is a Q&A, but it's a learning opportunity. Basically, Rick said, nothing, getting very discouraged, short and sweet. Oh, not the only one here. Lori says, I'm in a slump as well. So we're going to work on getting you out of that slump, Lori. Okay. And the rest of the question, let me fold this so it's easier to wrangle. And Alexa says, now she's Canadian, but the advice will work for Americans as well. And for those of you on Facebook and YouTube, if you see me looking over here, I have TikTok Live. Facebook and YouTube and Twitter all film horizontally, and TikTok and Instagram film vertically, so I can't do them together. I have to do one and one. Oh, see, here we go. That you can get out of a dry spell, because Erica says, why isn't my mouse working right now? She says, I'm in a dry spell right now. It's okay. I'm still pushing and entering. And Bill says he won a $500 Visa gift card last week on Instagram. He was in a dry spell, so don't give up. So that's the point. So let's talk about this. And so what she says is, I'm having difficulty finding contest sites. I'm wondering if you could help me out. I thoroughly enjoyed being a member of contestcanada.com, but they're no longer operational. That happens. There's a lot of sites that in both Canada and the US that were very active when I started, or even in the middle in the last 20 years, and then have disappeared. And over on TikTok, Snickerdo is also having trouble. She's saying wins are far and few between. So we are going to help everybody get out of their rut. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, Amy Lou says, what is happening with my mouse here? Amy Lou says, oops, that was way to go, Bill. She didn't win anything either. And yes, we like all the cheerleaders too. Cheerleading is good. Okay, so when the sweepstakes site disappeared, you have your routine, you know where to look, you know what you're getting, you know how to set it up, and then they're gone. This one didn't disappear because of, they weren't lacking business. They just retired, and that was it. So she uses contestcanada.net and Contest Girl, but she hasn't won after 6 months of entering daily, starting to think perhaps it's not worth my time entering anymore. Help me get out of my rut. I'd like some suggestions. So my suggestion is to enter local giveaways first. Now, I don't know where you are in Canada, so if you're really rural, it might be a little harder. But if you're in a fairly metropolitan area, Toronto, Saskatoon, Halifax, any major city in Canada, there's going to be locals. Now, this also applies to the States. If you're in a major market like LA, Chicago, New York, Miami, that kind of a city, Dallas, or you're in a smaller city like St. Louis, or something mid-size. I think Nashville is like mid-size. There's like huge, and then there's medium, and there's small. Enter your local giveaways. That's where I do the best. And I believe Tom Cavalli would agree with me, and the same with Rachel Travis, a couple other sweepstakes teachers. You enter in concentric circles. So if you're entering locally and then provincially or statewide and then nationally, your odds of winning locally are much better. Stands to reason. So once a week, and I don't use sweepstakes sites for this. I have a list in my weekly folder. Now, I save my folder on RoboForm because that's my system, but you can use a browser for this. And you have to remember, when I started doing my system, browsers didn't sync or had the abilities that they have now. So as technology improves, you can alter your hobby. So start with the local. So I have a weekly folder, and I have links to the contest page for every major media outlet in my region. So any like paper, especially the radio stations, anybody that gives away movie passes, places I know that regularly host giveaways that I can enter. And I tend to win more of those than any other sweepstakes. Now, the biggies that I get are from the nationals, because usually the locals aren't going to have biggies. Usually. If you can get onto one of the radio station games, then yeah, you can have a biggie. So Caroline's actually in Australia, and she says, happens in Australia too, had some compers complain that they have had troughs. I love the lingo. I don't know if you know this, but when I was 25, I lived in Sydney, Australia for a year, and I loved it down there. Part of me wishes I never came back, but my visa was expiring, and I had to make a choice, and it wasn't viable for me to stay down there at that time, but I want to go back. It's on the list. So start with that. Find your own sweepstakes first. Another thing that I find is very helpful is have a ring. I call it like a circle of sweepstake friends. I have 5 friends that I always tag on the Instagram giveaways. And so it's easy to remember them. I don't over tag, so I don't get blocked on IG. They all tag me. I all tag them. It's a nice little circle. I'm not bothering anybody. I don't spend too much time on those giveaways. And once in a while I win on Instagram. So I think it's worth to do the Instagrams. I do them when I don't have time, or I can't be entering anything else. Like sometimes if George and I are binge watching, a show on Netflix, I'll be bad and only half watch, because I will sit with my phone and enter Instagram giveaways while we're watching, because I feel like I'm getting some sweepstakes time in. Yeah, I know. It's not, but it's an addiction. It's slightly an addiction, but it's fun to do that. And then also look at what you're choosing to enter on those sites. Are you entering everything? Are you just being really picky? So for example, a long time ago, I haven't talked to him in a long time, but Will Arnett, his favorite methodology of winning sweepstakes was video. And this was before people were really doing video like they're doing now. This was like 10 years ago. And he really loved the video contest. So he might only enter 5 to 10 giveaways a year, but then he would win 2 or 3 of them. And they would be massive giveaways for huge prizes for video creation. And he said he always took a little bit of that wins money and then bought better video equipment with it. And it was all in the editing. Like he was doing the kind of stuff that people are doing now, but he was doing it 10 years ago. And it's, no, you know what? I think I have Will Arnett in my head. I don't, I'm gonna look it up because now I'm feeling silly. Why his name isn't popping. I have a feeling that's why it's popped into my head. And am I right or wrong? Oh my gosh, I don't even know if I remember where it is in the book. Here it is. Yeah, he spells it. Oh, it's Walt, not Will. I knew it sounded wrong. That's very funny. Brain hiccup. Actually, I'll read you what he wrote. It's actually very crazy. Really good. So I'll read you this part because it's really applicable to what people are doing now. And he was doing this like a decade ago. And this was the direction everything was going in with what they call consumer generated media. So here's everything is here's what I wrote. Everything is cyclical. In the 1950s and 60s, most giveaways were judged as an entrant had to complete a jingle in 25 words or less. You remember the famous book, The Prize Winner of Defiance, Ohio? How I Raise Kids on 25 Words or Less. I mean, that was the subtitle of the book. And Helene Hatzel, who I write about, she also wrote the first sweepstakes she won was a 25 words or less. Like it was a complete the jingle. It's what marketers now refer to as consumer-generated media, or CGM, or user-generated content, UGC. Those are a little bit of marketing lingo for you. It's gaining popularity. Remember, I wrote this. This one came out in 2016, so this is why I'm working on another one. It's gaining in popularity with sponsors again because creating these types of sweepstakes allows them to interact on many levels with their customers. CGM style sweepstakes ask for a contestant to, for example, create a video, take a picture, write an essay. And if you're creative and computer savvy, your odds of winning such a promotion are greater because relatively fewer people will put in the effort to win. There was one recently on TikTok. You had to, I think it was a Doritos, it was a wave contest, and you had to show why you were wavy. And some of the videos people created, it was a big prize. So you have to, that said, if there's a voting component, it may not be the best entry that wins, but the person with the largest network of contacts that garners the most votes. Always read the rules to see how the winner is selected before you put in the effort in creating something fun and exciting. Sometimes you just have to be really spontaneous and be yourself, and then it could be random draw. And I've done that. So you can do that. So here are the top tips from Walt. They're his preferred. Walt has chosen a video contest as his preferred method of entry. He doesn't win as frequently as a sweeper, but prizes tend to be larger. For example, this one, when it came out in 2016, he won a year Snickers Who Are You When You Are Hungry contest, netting him a grand prize of $50,000. And then I have a link to the video, which I hope is still there. Show the brand. So here is his 5 tips. Show the brand in the best possible light. Okay. What does the brand advertise its best features and benefits are? Ensure you use those in your creation. Make them laugh. The reason companies host a contest is it's a fun and engaging way to promote their brand. Therefore, build fun and excitement, jokes, chuckles, and laughs into your submission, while at the same time promoting the brand. Follow the rules. My number 1 tip. This is where following the rules is especially important. Rules for creative contents are more in-depth and have clauses specifically for the entries. Be sure to follow the technical, creative, and judging aspects. If you break any clause, your entry will be disqualified. So it's even more important on these types of giveaways. Use kids and or dogs. People love chubby, messy cheeks, squeaky voices, wagging tails, and furry faces. Kids and animals are also unpredictable, adding to the authenticity of the entry. That's why cat videos go viral across the internet. Take your time. Ad agencies do not create a marketing campaign overnight. You shouldn't rush your entry. Think like the sponsor and create an entry they would if they were using it to advertise their brand. There you go. That's Walt's advice. And it's even more applicable now. So I hope that helps. Okay, let me go back, and I saw some good comments. Oh, see? I like Elizabeth. Look at that. I'm entering as you speak. So that's, multitasking. That's what I do. It's, oh, and Megan too. Where's Megan? Oh, she said me too. Oh, look, see, Brittany says, oh, I'm just joining. On Friday, I won a $500 Visa gift card from a local radio station for being the 10th caller. Yeah, so sometimes local is really the way to go if you're stuck. And then read the odds. And so organize your sweepstakes into, best odds to worst odds when you're entering. So the first thing I enter every day is something that I can win right now. So there, even though it's classified as like a big sweepstakes with some grand prizes, they have instant prizes as part of the promotion. So you can win right now. So those are the ones that I enter first. Oh, I can't even do it because my phone, I'm using it as my camera. I'm like, we could have done roll up the rim, but I can't. I even went to Tim Hortons today to get some rolls. So I can't do it. It's a great camera. That's a tip for people. If you need a good webcam, you can use your phone. Okay, so you can win instantly. So that's the first thing I do. Anything that has something that I can win right now. The next thing I enter are the things that I really, really want to win. So if I only have a limited time to enter, I'm prioritizing my sweepstakes time. So those are the big things. Now, everybody's list is going to be different. You might want to remodel your kitchen, so you might be entering every appliance giveaway you can find and every gift card sweepstakes you can find because you want that cash to be able to buy, hardwood flooring and drywall and whatever. So that might be your list. I like to travel, so usually the trip sweepstakes are the first things I enter because this is a great big world and I want to see as much of it as I can. And bonus if it's free, right? So everybody's list is going to be different. What do you want to win? You have to be excited about it. Don't just be randomly entering because you just want to win stuff. That's not the way you should be approaching your hobby. You have to be passionate and excited. Now, that said, I have entered when I'm feeling miserable because it usually brightens my day. So if I start off in a bad mood when I'm entering sweepstakes, by the time I finish, I'm in a great mood because it's pulled me out of my doldrums because I started dreaming about all the fun things I could win, places I could go. Oops, I hit the microphone. Places I can go, things I can do, things like that. So, but more often than not, you want to be entering when you're in a good mood. Helene Hadsel had a great story in her book about a neighbor, because what happens, we start winning and all your friends go, well, how do you do it? And you tell them and they realize how much work it is and they don't want to do it. And like Dorothy Schaefer said in The Prize Winner of Defiance, Ohio, you have to really want to enter, I think, or really want to win. Something like that. I'd have to pull the book out to get her exact quote. But basically, you have to want to do it, right? It has to be something that you're passionate about, and it's something that you're just kind of driven to do. So Helene has a story. So this neighbor was entering sweepstakes with her, and they went to the post office together, and the neighbor threw in all her entries and said, well, there goes nothing. And Helene was appalled because the woman had this like, I don't even know why I'm bothering. Well, what kind of energy is that? You could already feel her losing as the envelopes are leaving her hand and hitting the post box. No, because they have drive-through post boxes in the United States. I think they're really cool. So this woman's at the post box, literally like throwing away her luck. Like, Oh, what horrible energy. I can even feel it. Like it's probably been 50 years since that happened or more, and I can still feel that negative energy through time and space. No. What I like to say, because I don't win every contest that Helene did. Like she was very targeted, and the hobby was much different in the 50s and 60s than it is today. So my attitude is, I wonder which ones I'm going to win. So I expect to win. I just want the universe to surprise me with what I'm going to win. So I have the expectation of winning, which it really does. Now, Ken Joe just says, I just bought your book. I hope it works. No, you do not hope, Ken. I just bought your book. I'm so excited to learn. I wonder what my first prize is going to be. And then message me and let me know. Lean says you have to believe it before you see it. You have to believe you're a winner before you are. You have to be excited. And everybody, and I mean everybody, I know that has taken this hobby seriously and entered and, followed the different steps does win. Everybody. But you have to put in the work. It's like trying to go to the gym. Go, okay, I want to lose 20 pounds. I'm going to go and walk on the treadmill twice a week for 10 minutes. And then wonder why you don't build cardio, you don't get strong. You have to put in the effort. It's the same. I want to lose 20 pounds and I'm going to eat healthy, but oh, wait, I'm having cookies 3 times a day. Yeah, it's not going to work. You have to put in the effort, right? Like Helene, when she was entering, she uses a lot of techniques that they're in the secret, but the biggest secret that they left out was the action part. She didn't just sit and wish she was going to win. She took action. She filled out the forms. She looked for them in the grocery store. She, mailed in the entries. She drove around because there was more in person in those days. We've had a big switch between going online and then the pandemic. A lot of the in-person stuff has really diminished or almost gone away. And then that shifted more online. A lot of sweepstakes are moving to apps. The apps, like, so Tim Hortons rolled the rim, Starbucks has it on their mobile. A lot of sweepstakes are designed for phones now, I've noticed. So remember that when you're entering in person. So she used to drive around. She put in a lot of effort. We're lucky. We have so many on our phones that it's easier. We can just sit home and enter. Just swipe. Oh, Ken says, that's what I want. A more positive person. Yes, we are going to send, everyone's going to send Ken some positive juju. And believe it or not, that's going to help him. Oh, that's funny. Michael says, how about gluten-free cookies? Just kidding. I know, right? I know. It's so hard to cut out the sweets. It's okay. Let me just see. Oh dear. We have a troll. I just blocked somebody. So if, yeah, I did. Sorry. That's the problem. I'm talking really great and I didn't spot the troll fast enough. That's okay. We got rid of them. That's the downside of being public, but that's okay because the positive people are here and we're all here to win and we're all here to have fun and we're not going to let a little troll get us down. Oh, okay. So here's are winning trips really good or just average? Do they pull out all the stops for the winner? It depends on the contest and what's included. Now, I've had some that the rules stated you were going to get this, and then we got there and we got that. And we were just blown away because we got over the top treatment that we weren't expecting. And then other times the rules said we were going to get this, and then we showed up and we got that, and we were like, really? Like, wow, no, not cool. But we didn't say anything to the sponsor. We just let it go, and enjoyed the trip as we got it. If possible, I always alter trips. So for example, oh my gosh, time has shrunk or something in the last couple of years. In 2019, so in 2018, I went a trip to Universal Studios. We took it in 2019, and it was 4 days and 3 nights. And I knew that's too short because already you get a 3-day park pass, but that means you're already traveling on one of the park days. And I'm like, no. So I said to the sponsor, like to the Universal, can we extend the trip? And they're like, sure, because they're happy to have you spend money on their property. So I picked the dates because I wanted to go for my daughter's birthday. Now, the dates that I picked, they only had so many rooms allocated for their promotional, like the promotions department only gets so many allocations of rooms. I guess they give away a lot of stuff. And the dates I had picked, they had none for the hotel that was listed in the rules. So they upgraded us. So it was a more expensive hotel. The key cards became fast passes, which wasn't included in the official rules, but they gave it to us. And then I booked, and I think it's also they didn't mind doing it because then I was spending money on the property. I booked 2 nights out of my own pocket in the original hotel to stay there so we could extend the trip. And then I asked, here's another trick. I asked for the first flight out we could get on the day we were leaving so that we could maximize our time. And then the last flight out on the day we were leaving so we could maximize that day. Right? Because if you're tired, you just sleep on the plane. That's my theory, right? So I turned a 4-day, 3-night trip into a 6-day, 5-night trip. I paid for 2 out of my pocket. That way, when we went to the parks Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we didn't miss any time. We didn't miss out on anything because we were able to spend the whole day, all 3 days, and we didn't have to travel on those days. And then it was a bonus. We had the fast passes. So that just really worked out well. But there was no extras. Like there was no, and they had to and from the airport. Most rules will have to and from the airport. So because I was changing hotels halfway through the trip, because I couldn't afford to stay at this really schmancy hotel they upgraded us to, I stayed at a different hotel on the resort. They had the transport drop us off at the first one. And when our trip was finished, take us back to the other one. They were amazing. So sometimes they can work with you. So I like to win a trip. Like I love traveling. So even if all I just got was like airfare and hotel and a ticket to something or whatever, what I was doing, like the Universal, and that's all I got, I would be so happy. You know who's good to talk with? So I just won trip number 20, but Tom, because there's more trip giveaways in the United States, has just won this year trip 80, and he's probably past that now. I lose track. He does Facebook Lives. I'm trying to get him on StreamYard so he can do YouTube and Facebook. And just go follow iWin, and he answers a lot of questions. So you can ask trip questions from him too about the giveaways. Oh, wait! I just saw a really good. Someone else won a radio. Oh, got my husband's name called out on Boom. We won $400. Nice. Yeah, they haven't called my name yet. They'll call it next week when they're doing $1,000 an hour. That's funny. But it is fun. Yes, effort means results. And that actually is for everything in life, right? If you spend a ton of time in your garden, you're probably going to have nicer flowers than someone that just, comes out and occasionally waters and buys a flat of, the plainest flowers they can find. If you go and you're, hunting around and getting all these different exotic varieties and spending hours, you're going to have a more beautiful garden. If you like woodworking and you spend hours in the shop, you're going to have, it's just anything in life that you spend time on, you're going to have a better result. I find it shocking that it's so simple, but people seem to think, and I don't know what it is about the sweepstakes, maybe because it's easy just to put in your name and number, and they think it should be easier than it is. I don't know if that sounds right. If you take time and, here, I'll put up her comment. I keep forgetting I can put up. Janice says, if you take the time and enter, you will win. If you expect to win the minute you start entering, then you'll face huge disappointment and want to quit right away. That's how my friends and families are, and they give up within a month. And then I tell them I'm so lucky when I win things, and I tell them if they would continue entering, they would be winners too. This is important because the original adage would be 3 to 6 months before you started entering prizes. This is when it was postage, persistence, and patience, the 3 Ps, to win sweepstakes. Okay? And, the entry periods were longer. So they would say to someone starting new, it's going to take 3 to 6 months before your first prize shows up. So you have to be really patient and just keep going. Okay? Now, you can instantly win something. It is possible to find something with an instant win component, happen enter at the right time, and boom, your first prize within 10 minutes of you starting your sweepstakes hobby. It is possible, highly unlikely, but it is possible. I tell people to read the rules. So I was teaching a class the other day, and I was showing someone, the entry, like a sweepstakes for beginners class, and I was showing them the different things that they're to look for. And one of the sweepstakes we looked at was, hey, we're entering today, but it closes here, and then it says in the rules the draw date is here. So it was a month before they were going to do a drawing. So I said, yeah, this is a single entry sweepstakes. You're entering today. If you're the lucky winner, you won't hear for over a month. So, you chances are you win, and then you have to enter quite a few. So read the rules to find out when it opens, when it closes, and how often you can enter. And that's going to determine, when you can win. So yeah, it is possible to win something right now. I don't like to discourage people because you never know. It has happened to some people. It has happened. I get emails from people all the time, and I hear all kinds of stories. But chances are not. So you're right. I don't want people to expect it. We just love positive vibes. Everybody's sharing the positive vibes. Okay. So Amy Lou says, I'd like to learn how to win a giveaway on Facebook. The Facebook giveaways, assuming that they're the like and comment ones, they're exactly the same as the Instagram. So you just follow the page, you just like the post, you comment, and you hope you win. I don't win that many of them, but I don't also enter a ton of them. Oh, Michelle says, I can't wait for the convention. So if those of you who are watching don't know how to, if you don't know this, there's an annual sweepstakes convention. And this year it's the second week of July, I think, technically, because it starts the 6th. So and the first big day is the 7th. So really it's the second week of July, in Manchester, New Hampshire. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Oh, Michelle says, I need a Twitter and Instagram class. Oh, Michael. Sorry, Michael. Yeah, Twitter's easy. It's the Instagram one that really trips people up. I do have next week a sweepstakes. Is it next week? Oh my gosh, it's April already. Where has this year gone? We're almost finished Q1, the first quarter. I have a sweepstakes for beginners class next Tuesday night. So maybe I'll see you there. And I walk people through step by step. So I use a different camera so I can use my phone when I'm teaching. That's funny. Brenda, is it a meeting for sweepstakes? Is there a website? Okay, so there's a couple of things. If you go to my website under resources and click on meet fellow sweepstakers. I list all the clubs and I list the annual. There used to be quite a few because there was minis and repeat ones, but now there's only the National Sweepstakes Convention. So what happened was when the pandemic hit, a lot of the sweepstakes club just stopped. Some of them folded. Some of them went virtual. Some of them are now meeting back in person. My personal club isn't meeting back in person, but every couple of weeks I host a virtual sweepstakes club. So we have a really good mix of Canadians and Americans. Sometimes it's half-half. Last time it was just 2 Canadians and all the rest were Americans. It's fun, but guess what? The hobby's the same everywhere. You've got to read the rules. You got to have an email address just for entering sweepstakes. I mean, it doesn't change, right? The parameters of the hobby are the same. I'm looking at the calendar. It is April 11th is the next virtual contest club meeting. And if you go to my homepage and scroll down a bit, it's the first featured article. And I outline what the meetings are like and a little bit of the history and then some links to find us easy. Ooh, I like this energy, Bill. I'm going to win a cruise this year. He declared it. I'm waiting it. Oh, see, Elizabeth, Disney treats its winners like royalty. I bet. Oops, the comments went fast. Okay, so let me roll back. Okay, so let me the comments, and then I still have one comment that came from YouTube that's very important, so I want to make sure I address it. Okay, happy positive vibes. Okay, I haven't been in meetings. Disney treats its people well. Okay, so Brittany says, I don't like contests on Instagram. I won earlier this month on there, and then I won 3 of those bridal subscription boxes. They came with so much stuff that I cannot wait to use leading up to my wedding, which will be next year. Oh, congratulations. Yeah, sometimes it's really handy to win useful prizes. And again, everybody's priorities and what they want to win is different. Brittany is getting married, so of course she's focusing on the bridal sweepstakes. I'm not. That's not, there's people that are having babies now. Now, that said, my boyfriend's daughter is having a second baby, so I do look at the baby sweepstakes again because I think, oh, that'll make a nice gift. So you go through phases of life of where you're entering stuff and then you probably don't, and then you're entering it again. Right? Oh, okay. Carolyn's saying, oh, I think that she was the one from Australia. With my trip to Paris, despite getting some spending money, my husband refused to allow spending money for an extra night. Guess which one of us spent most of the spending money? I will never forget those words. It's just another 20 euros. Yeah, sometimes it's better to take a girlfriend. Yes, Michelle says iWin has great sweeps. Or Michael, oh my gosh, I think I need my reading glasses fixed. So yes, the groups. So she means the clubs are listed on the Contest Queen site by state. No, actually it's by state on Sweep Sheet. And I just put them in alphabetical order because I don't have the map function on my website. So mine just lists where they are. So you can scroll through the list, or you can go to Sweep Sheet. You don't have to be a member of Sweep Sheet to access the clubs page. So you can go to Sweep Sheet and click on clubs and check by state there. Right? You reap what you sow, right? It's exactly right. So if you put it out there with passion and fun, it's going to come back at you with passion and fun. Oh, I love this. Good evening. I hope all's with you and the family. It is. I love that. Just good energy. Oh, right. I remember those days, and I'd enter on Facebook and find out I won $250 the next day. That happened to me last week. There you go. Ooh, Lori says, my biggest instant win was when Kellogg's was giving away a trip to any college football game. I entered my son and he won. He and his girlfriend went to Hawaii. Wow, that must have been awesome. That's fantastic. Yeah, the biggest instant win I had was last year. Finally. I was doing my pin code hunting, and at 6:30 in the morning, I won a hot tub. That was so fun. And I can hardly wait because it's going to be warm soon, and I can start going in it again because it's been really blustery cold. It was very cold today. I am looking forward to spring for sure. Oh, yes, this is another nice reason there's a gap. Sorry, I'm going to just take a sip here. That's another nice reason there's a gap between entering and winning and receiving the prize. Sometimes the smaller ones, they just mail them to you. You don't even know they're coming. And you just get winning email or mail. Like, so fun. Oh, this is hilarious. Joyce says, my first win was men's trousers. I sold them at the flea market. I've won many, many varied and nice items since. That is awesome. Where else? What other hobby can you say I won men's pants? Oh my gosh, this is the best hobby. Okay, and Ken on TikTok says, does the book teach you how and where to find sweepstakes to enter? Yes. And if you're still a little unsure, you can go to my website and click on 5 steps to begin winning. And I walk you through a little bit of the process. And then I have all the sweepstakes aggregates on my website. And what I've done for the new book is because in the old book, well, technically this is still the current book, but see, I have all the sweepstakes clubs listed and things like that. And nobody needs to read a list. Like, this takes up literally pages, right? It's by state in the book. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pages in the book. I'm like, nobody needs to read that. And the problem with anything, it's fluid. The minute you print the book, something's already out of date. So what I've done is, you'll find my next book's going to be thinner because I'm ripping a lot of stuff out. So for example, like that list, you don't need to read that list. I just say to you, here's how clubs work. Here's a bit.ly link, so it's easy. So if you have it on your Kindle and if you click like Kindle or you read it on a mobile device, it'll take you right to the web page. But you can just type that into your browser, and you can just type that into your browser, and then you'll go right to that page of all the lists. And then as it changes, I can update it. See, the problem is this book, I wrote it and it came out in 2016. So that's like 6, 7, that's like, it's going to be almost 7 years since I wrote it. Well, a lot's changed in 7 years, as we all well know. So that way I can just keep updating the webpage, and then anybody who buys the book, it's almost always current. So I think that's a better way to do it. Ooh, Michael, I got it right this time. I won $1,000 on a scratch off about a month ago. Fun. That is totally fun. Ooh, Elizabeth says, I went in and surprised my first week. See, you can win fairly quickly. And then after about a month, I won 5K and I knew I'd win, and I win regularly. Yes, make a declaration. I win and I win regularly, and put that energy out to the universe. Love that. Ooh, oh yes, some of them are at 3 a.m. my time. Maybe my classes. Oh, I do put a clause. I know what she's talking about. So the problem is we're a global community of sweepstakers, and I set my calendar based on Eastern Standard Time. So it's a little bit too early sometimes for people on the West Coast, and then an impossible time for people on the other side of the planet or in Europe. So there is a clause. If you check it, I did put something up there that says, look, if you're somewhere else in the planet, send me a message and I can do a different time. So I've actually held classes for one person so that they don't have to stay up till 1:30 in the morning. We can do something if, depending on where you are in Australia, I think if I do it at 6 o'clock at night, it's morning for you, which seems to be the sweet spot for both countries. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But yeah, so the only thing that you really wouldn't get is the club meetings. Actually, the club meetings might work because aren't the club meetings 7:30 at night, 7:30 in the morning, like noon your time? So yeah, no, just message me. We'll figure out a time. Do businesses look at the people you tag on Facebook and Instagram live anywhere near the business that is hosting the contest? It depends on the rules. Like if you have to go in and pick up the prize, then you probably want someone that lives close. But I run Instagram giveaways for companies. I don't look at where people live until afterwards when I'm vetting the potential winners to make sure that they followed the rules. So for example, if it says Canada and I check and someone's profile says they're in the US, I automatically disqualify them because they didn't follow the rules. But as long as they followed the rules, yeah, I always check the account to make sure they're not a spam account. If you're following 5,000 accounts and 0 people are following you and you have 0 posts and you have a gray head for your account on Instagram, you are not winning. Now, some people say they do win that way, but every client I've had is like, no, because they have to show, I usually work with agencies and they have to show the winners to their client and their client wants to see real people winning. So if you've got like a zeroed account with no profile and no head and no pictures, yeah, they don't want to give you the prize. You have to be involved. One of my tips is take pictures and videos of random shit. Seriously, and just post it. I post all kinds of weird things. If I see something that's kind of wonky, I'll take a little video and I'll put it on Twitter. So we had a snowstorm a while ago, and I guess the buildings snowplow company they hired to clear the snow was a little too enthusiastic. And I went to get my morning tea because Tim Hortons was doing the roll up and I wanted to be in, at the very beginning. And I look over and this entire fence from the snow had just been pushed over. I thought, ooh, someone's not going to be very happy about that. So I took a little video of it and I made that comment. Wow, this has been, someone was a little too enthusiastic pushing the snow. And I just posted it. So then I have something random. And it's real because it's what's going on in the neighborhood. I post things like that if I find something unusual in a store or I see something funny or there's a little squirrel or a dog or something, anything. Just post that stuff. And then if you put it in between your entries, you're showing your life. And I don't show my face in all of them. So I hope that helps. I keep wanting to touch my screen. This is not a touch screen computer. Oh, that's funny. I won men's underpants and male eau de cologne. I won men's cologne that smelled so good. And George didn't want it. I wear it. Actually, I think I'm wearing it today. I'll be in the house and I'll be putting on cologne. He's like, where are you going? I go, I like to smell good for me. Don't you like me to smell good? So I think it's important just to, because I've worked from home for 20 years. And sometimes I've worked on client site, but most of the time I'm at home. And okay, let me just catch up on some of these comments. Yeah, you just feel good for yourself. Again, it's what you're entering. I put makeup on every day because I'm doing videos, and it actually feels good to get dressed up a bit. I'm still in the yoga pants, though. I like my yoga pants, but it's nice to do hair and makeup and feel good, and it just makes you feel good. So when you feel good, you're gonna win in life, not just sweepstakes. Oh, see, there's a good trick. They had 2 rooms, and she changed it to 1 room, and then got the twice the amount of days. Ooh, that's smart, right? So there's all ways to change stuff around depending. Let me just see. Okay. Yeah, there's some fun prizes. Okay, so there's instant win. Okay, we saw that one. Okay. Yeah, if you enter Facebook with comments and tagging, be careful. If you comment too much or too fast, you'll end up being sent to jail. Usually make sure you tag a few and then wait a minute, then tag a few more. You know what I find is interesting? If I'm entering Instagram on my computer, I can tag like 3 or 4 and instantly I get blocked. I'm on my phone and I can tag all my friends anywhere, depending on the sweepstakes, say 5 to 10. No problem. I don't know what it is about the browser versus the app. Maybe it's the same with Facebook because they're both owned by Meta. So just a tip, maybe you want to be tagging people on your phone versus your laptop. A lot of the Facebook ones I do are not multiple entries. I just do the ones where you like leave a comment and say something and maybe tag a friend and that's it. So it's like one, right? That's what I do. I just enter the one. Okay. So let's see what else somebody says. Ooh, I want to win a house remodel. You know what? I haven't really seen a full remodel sweepstakes, but you know what? They are around and you can check, and you can also piecemeal it. Like Helene, when she won her trip to Paris, she piecemealed it together, but she still had the same end result. So you could piecemeal it together with winning appliances and winning maybe some flooring and then winning some gift cards to buy some of the cabinets or something. Like you can piecemeal it together. There is a way to do it if you don't find one. Yeah, just post random pictures that are cool and different, but then I get those wonderful message requesting me to share my pics and be their ambassador. Oh, I get that all the time, and all I do is block. I just block them. And then they came out with a feature that says block them and any other account this person tries to create, and I go, yes, I just block them. It's funny because I also do an app called Rizzle, and I got an email from them saying, hey, they wanted me to be an influencer on their platform. Like they wanted me to come and be a content creator and share all my sweepstakes secrets with everybody on their platform like I am on TikTok. And I thought, this is a scam. And I looked them up, and they're actually one of the fastest growing apps in the United States. They're out of India. And I think they were originally called Rumble with no E. And so I started on there. And what's interesting is I have 20,000 followers on TikTok. I have 530,000 followers on Rizzle, but the interaction isn't the same. It's a completely different platform. It's kind of crazy. I don't understand it. Yeah, if you win a trip to the city you live in, will the sponsor still give you the airline voucher? Depends on the rules. Maybe. Maybe not. You can always ask. Sponsors usually have a clause in all of their rules that kind of allow them to do whatever they want. So they can upgrade a prize, downgrade a prize, swap out a prize. So for example, I collected enough monster codes to get a guitar. The guitar that was in the rules wasn't available. So they sent me a lower one with a note and then sent me a check for the difference. Legally, they didn't have to do that. They could have just sent me the lesser guitar because they usually have a clause that gives them that out. But some sponsors are smart enough to know that you don't piss off your loyal fans and people that love your product. Yeah, I love it, right? It's like Christmas when unexpected prizes show up. It's so fun. Oh, this is interesting. Brittany says, I heard from someone that if you're getting married and send companies an invitation, they'll send you free stuff to congratulate you. Is that true? I don't know if that trend has passed. I saw it for a while. Was it on? I think it was on YouTube. A couple of people wrote like all their favorite brands and invited them to the wedding, and then they got free stuff. but that's kind of overrated. Now everybody might be trying to do it. So I don't know. Someone said post food pictures on IG. Yeah, that's good too. And actually, you should always be taking food pictures and pictures of holidays and things that are going on, because you can always use them in a sweepstakes. So, for example, Easter's coming up. So if you took a lot of pictures last Easter, you're probably going to see, hey, show us your favorite little bunny, meaning, your kids or your grandma or somebody with ears on or something, or show us decorating your Easter eggs. If you had your pictures from last year, you can use them in this year's contest, and you don't have to wait till you're closer because you already have a stockpile. And then you can save them in folders on your, clear off your phone and then save them in folders on your computer. So I do that. So you'll put in, Easter, Christmas, vacations, different stuff, or ski trip and beach holiday. So you separate even those. Or, back to school and different things if you group. And then you could put food, and you can break down food into dinners, breakfast, lunches, sweets. And if you take pictures of those, when a contest comes, you already have the pictures of the cookies or the the barbecue or the steak or whatever you did. Okay, so let's see. She said, thank you. I thought it was just me with the Instagram on my laptop versus phone blocking. No, it's Meta. Yeah, so Elizabeth says, for example, I live in Los Angeles and there's sweepstakes delay, hoping I'll be able to use the airline and hotel vouchers for a different trip. It depends on the sweepstakes and who the sponsor is and what the prize is. Right? There's so many different examples. Okay. So, I think I've caught up there. We're doing pretty good. Oh my God, we're already in an hour? And I haven't even finished. Okay, well, we have to finish. Kelly wrote this on YouTube when I posted. So I try and remember to schedule these a week in advance. And of course, I don't know. I totally forgot. I only shared this, yesterday for tonight. Totally forgot, because last week I had on Andrew Kapp, who wrote the last Law of Attraction book you're ever going to need to read. Yeah, that's a mouthful for it. And he was amazing. And then, so of course, and then I still haven't posted the winners from the last live before that. I've drawn them all and I've been so busy. I haven't done it. We're even dog sitting for my mom right now. So it's there's so many things going on. But Kelly wrote this and I was very concerned. Yes. Oh, Bill's right. Right? Time flies when we're talking about sweepstakes and contests, just because it's so fun. Kelly says, no, this made me panic. I had to write her a thing right away. And I wanted to put this in the video because if anybody else is watching, this is so important. She says, I'm in over my head. I just found your site. I have 1 million different sweepstakes coming through my postal mail. I spent thousands donating to charities. No, I don't know how to tell if I'm a winner, and if I am, what do I have to do to get paid? Please help. I'm so frustrated and have mail everywhere. Stop. I told her, stop. First of all, delete as much as you can. So read the fine print, find out how to get off the mailing list. If you're getting any in your inbox, unsubscribe. Don't send anybody money. No. You don't have to spend money to win a sweepstakes. Yeah, you probably have to have a phone or a computer, so you've spent money on that. And you probably have to have access to internet or a data plan. Yeah, you have to spend some money on that. But you're going to have those things usually anyway. And then, you can set up a free email account just for entering sweepstakes, which is, I use Yahoo, but I also have a Gmail. Sometimes I rarely use the Gmail for entering sweepstakes, but I've had problems the odd time with Yahoo. I don't know why. And I will use the Gmail as a backup. Just in case. But you also don't want to use two different ones because then you'll get mixed up. But it's always good to have a backup account just in case. So yeah, never pay, and I use it for business too. So never pay. Now, that said, I'm entering sweepstakes right now for Nestle chocolate. You can either buy a chocolate bar and submit the receipt to be in to win, or you can enter using the no purchase entry option. But the chocolate bar at the dollar store is actually cheaper than a stamp, let alone with the envelope and the time to fill out the 3x5 and mail it in. So I just buy the chocolate. And not only did I get an entry, I got to eat the chocolate. Thankfully, I have uses for this. So I'm going to the convention. So I'm buying chocolate the Americans don't have to put in my prize packs. And then I get the receipts to enter a sweepstakes. So I get to buy a lot of chocolate that I don't have to eat. There's a strategy. You have to have a strategy when you're doing this, right? Enter smarter, not harder. So yeah, never pay to enter, and never ever pay to claim a prize. You don't have to do that. Now, you may have to pay something. So for example, I want a gift card for travel this year, and the rules say I can spend up to this much money, but on the travel site. But if I pick a trip that is more than the amount that I won, I have to pay the difference. And it says that in the rules, and it's logical, right? So I'm not paying to win. I get the full amount of what I won. And then if I pick something that's more, then I just have to pay the difference. And I know that, and I would rather do that than pick something that's less than the value. I'd rather max it out and go over and pay the difference to make sure I don't kind of leave any money on the table, is the expression. And I've already made that decision, and I'm okay with it. So, and then also if you win a trip, I always call it a cheap trip, not a free trip, because so you win airfare, hotel. So for example, we won airfare and hotel and park passes to Universal and some spending money. But then I extended the trip, and we stayed 2 extra nights, and there was 4 of us. And then of course we bought souvenirs, and we ate out at extra places. And so, you know, you do spend some money, but we didn't pay for airfare. We didn't pay for hotel. I made sure we stayed longer. So we spent 1 day at Disney. That was out of my pocket, right? Like it was, you know, and even if we just took it for the time there, if I took it exactly as it was given, I probably wouldn't have spent any money, because the spending money would have covered it. But then we would only had like 2.5 days in a park, and that kind of sucks. And it would have been too short for my liking. But you can do it. Depends on what you win. And then sometimes there's contests where the travel doesn't include airfare. Like there's some that have cruises. You can get the cruise, you can get this, you can get that, but you have to make your way to so from here I'd have to fly, you know, to like Miami or Cape Canaveral or wherever the ports are for the cruises, depending. You might, you know, it depends. So again, you're not paying to get the prize, you're paying to use the prize. Or even if I win tickets to go see a concert downtown. When Lane was little, we were getting a sitter. We'd have to pay for parking. We'd probably have a couple of drinks. And then we see the show. That was free. And then we drive home. So now we've also spent gas. And the sitter. So again, a cheap night out, not a free night out. Right? So Betty says, my fiance won a trip to LA in January. We'll still spend a lot of money on food and other itinerary, even though we had free flight, hotel, and concert tickets and rideshare credits. Right. And they even say that in the rules. If you read the rules, you'll see that it says, you know, we don't cover tips. We don't cover, you know, if you choose to go shopping, you know, all that stuff, they don't cover that. See, always check the rules, because some sites like Sideshow will charge you for the shipping of the prize. They state it in the rules though, so you don't enter them. But see, I have to say, I don't agree with charging for shipping for a prize, but I like that they're upfront about it. They're like, hey, and they put it right in the rules. They're very upfront about it. And to me, that makes them more legitimate because they're right up front. Oh, Michael wants to know, has anybody seen the Reese's codes in the stores? No. Yeah, incidentals are never included. The odd time they can be. We've had food, like when we went to England a long time ago, when we showed up, they gave us gift cards. No, they gave us cash. That was the when we showed up and they gave us each 75 pounds cash so that anything we bought that weekend, yeah, we went for the weekend, would be covered. It was crazy. I was like, here, yeah, it was amazing. That was probably the best trip I've been on. What'd you do this weekend? I went to London. Went to London to visit the Queen. Bill says, what's better than chocolate? Free Canadian chocolate from the Contest Queen. Or from the Candy Queen. Yeah, I'll be the Candy Queen. Let's see. I have some of it here. Oh, I've been working on all the fairy prizes. Oh, yeah, I have one of the now this is the one I've decided I'm keeping for myself just because I like the purple so much and it's kind of like brand color. But I'm giving away a fairy necklace, and I've got some I'll be giving some away here too, but I'm coming up with a game. So I haven't finished making them, but there's Tom did this last year where he hid prizes and gave away or hid little ducks, and then if you found a duck and found him doing a Facebook Live, you could win a prize. So I'm going to do something like that. I haven't figured it out. He's going to talk to me because he may or may not come to the convention. He might do it virtual now. So I'm like, oh no. But there's a little jar of fairy dust, and that I'm going to have a card in there. And then, see, here's another necklace that I made. This one is fun. This one's orange fairy dust. There's fairy dust everywhere. And then I've already started the gift bags. Here, let me find one. I made these other, yeah. So here's now I'm filling the bottles. Okay, so they found in 2009, the convention was in Manchester, and I bought bottles for everybody at the convention that were branded. So the hotel had water coolers at the back, and people could just go and fill up their bottles, and everyone had water at their table. So they messaged me and said, we just found another box. There's 25. I'm like, please keep one for me. And I'm going to fill them. We're going to fill them. So I've started collecting. Here's what we have so far. A coffee crisp, but it's the double. Wait, I'm going the wrong way. It's the double coffee crisp. So it tastes like a Tim Hortons double. Oh my God, so good. And then I have some rockets. You guys call these Smarties, but they're actually rockets. So I'm putting some of those in there. I'm getting more stuff. So we have a bottle opener keychain. How fun is he? And then, of course, everyone gets a prize magnet sticker. And then I've got a little magnet. I've got like 4 different designs. They're little fridge magnets. They're so cute. They're plastic, like rubbery. They're so cute. And then now I still have to put the little poem in about the fairy dust. But I made these keychains too. I bought all the bits and assembled them myself. So like there's a little key. So you see there's like a clip and then a ring and then another ring and another ring. I just kind of, and the bottom one has, can't break the fairy dust. I've super glued this together. So and so this one has like a little angel fairy and some blue fairy dust. And then the other ones have necklaces. So half have keychains and half have. So then I found, when we had our club meeting, I was asking all my American Sweepstakes buddies what different candies you had and stuff. And I was going over the list and they're like, no, we don't have that. We don't have that. So I'm going to put a bunch, as many as I can in the bottle. But then for the game, when I'm hiding the fairy, the little things, when I assemble them with the whole thing, and people find them, if they find me, I'm going to have lots of things in bag, like one-offs. So I might have a big bag of hickory sticks or all dressed chips. And I heard you guys don't have Kraft peanut butter. So I'm going to have all kinds of and chocolate bars and all kinds of fun things. It's going to be fun. I love it. So, and wine gums, apparently they don't have wine gums in the States. What kind of country doesn't have wine gums? So it's going to be fun. There's going to be lots of sugar. Basically, I'll be like, you know who I'm going to be channeling? Al Sayward, who for decades ran the Michigan Spring Sweepstakes meeting. And he was one of the first to run a sweepstakes convention in Detroit and held it there in 2007 was the last big one. And unfortunately, he passed away last year. But everybody knew him as the Candy Man because he always gave away candy. Like if you wanted candy, you went and talked to Al because he'd have candy. Yeah, so I'm going to be channeling Al Sayward for this convention with the candy. Let's see. Oh, yes, thank you. Says NH 2020 vision. Oh, yeah, we're going to be bouncing off the walls. See, that's the other thing with the convention. It's crazy. Like, I don't really sleep for days because I just get a little bit of shut eye because you're up. Like, I have had, like, late, you sit up at night and you talk with your friends and you're up early and you're having breakfast. Like, you don't really sleep much. Yeah, Caroline's too bad you're on the other side of the ocean because you would love this convention. But yeah, if I ever get down to Australia again, I'll look up the compers and go hang out with all the compers. But it's a fun hobby and like it's very global. I love it. We'll okay, so now that we're way over time and I have actually rules to finish writing for a sweepstakes for a client. So I'm going to check out on the other side of the equator. Yeah, she's on the other side of the equator. They're now heading into winter. Tracy says, I learned so much for your hosting events. Haven't won in a while, but I will manifest a win soon. Yes, I'm sending you some lucky fairy dust. So that's what we're doing. And also, I know I didn't even mention it, but of course, if you read the rules for the posts, I give away prizes. And even though I might be behind in posting the winners, sorry, I haven't tagged anybody yet from the last one. I drew them all and I screenshotted all the names and I have not had a chance to post them. So maybe I'll get a chance to do that tonight. And then, you know what? I'm feeling really lucky. And so we're talking about fairies. Colette Barron Reed does these beautiful card decks, and a lot of her oh look, the last card I drew for myself was the 10 of Earth, and she looks like a fairy. So I'm going to do a card pull. Let's see, we're going to do some energy for all the sweepstakers out there. I love all this woo-woo stuff. This is like, I love it. Colleen was into it too, actually. She had a real tarot deck. I have one and have no idea how to read it. So that's the other reason I like Colette's. And actually, I talked about Colette's card when I did St. Patrick's Day. And I did a card pull. And I showed everybody her deck. And Colette commented on it. She really liked that I did that. And she actually doesn't live too far from me. So we'll see. I just did a little bit of shuffling. And the card for the group is the 7 of Water. Oh my gosh. This is the last time I did a card pull was a water card. I'm going to show TikTok. And now I'm going to show you guys. Look how beautiful the artwork on these cards. Oh, it's trying to do my face and the card. There, I'm going to get out of the way so you can see how beautiful the cards. And actually, here's my tip. I wait till Hay House has one of their big sales. Black Friday, everything was half off. I bought 4 decks. Because one of my clients, Robert Ohado, he actually knows Colette and does work with her. And he's done some live streams and things with her. So I like to support her. She has the most beautiful decks. So the 7 of Water is imagination, fantasy, artistic endeavors, and co-creation abilities unleashed. Well, I was talking about doing creative videos and co-creative abilities unleashed. So we're all co-creating this winning energy. Now's the time to tune into the infinite possibilities that exist and begin to play with them. Oh my gosh, does that talk about sweepstaking or what? Everything in the world begins with imagination, and I seize the opportunity to dream. So yes, dream about winning that trip. Dream about winning the car. Dream about winning that new fridge. Dream about winning whatever you want for your wedding, Brittany. I allow my intuition and desire to blend in an alchemical way, forming something new. Castles in the air become castles on the ground. Hello, Contest Queen. When I release rigidity, bend the rules, and remain flexible and open. Yeah, that's the total thing about sweepstakes is, some people are like, you have to work hard to make money. There's nothing free in this world. Yeah, there's a lot free. Companies spend billions of dollars giving away stuff. Limitations and boundaries give way to manifestations. Well, yeah, you do have to follow the rules when you're entering. And spirit never doubts the power of possibility, and neither will I. Yep, you have to believe in the possibility that you'll win. It's amazing, right? How a card like that can work for the group. Isn't that fun? So on that note, I'm doing a TikTok live on April 1st. I have filled my event calendar till the end of August because and I'm doing some road trips this year. So I might be hanging out with sweepers sooner rather than later. Does the convention have any Canadian content, or is it mainly US focused? It tends to be generic in the sense of they'll have speakers that talked about how to win an Instagram giveaway. Well, that doesn't matter what country you're from. How to Google for fun and profit. How to find giveaways with your own customized searches. Again, that's generic. Now, they used to have some people that would talk about mail-in sweepstakes, but that pretty much doesn't happen anymore. And they were US focused. However, postal rules tend to be pretty common across the globe because they all use sorting machines and they're all kind of similar. So, if it's too small, it will get jammed up. If it's too bulky, it could get ripped. I mean, things like that are, even though they used to have, say, a US postal person come and talk about their specifics, it pretty much translates, if you know what I mean. And then there's prizes. Now, when they do give out gift cards, they're American gift cards. But believe me, I spend my American gift cards. I have no problem spending my American gift cards. So I actually have a special wallet just for traveling. And I have all my gift cards and my US money and my passport. And it's an RFID wallet. And I'm good to go. You can go if you want. And there's 2 of us from Canada going so far this year. It's going to be fun. I miss hanging around all my sweepstake friends. The energy, I can't even, right? Yeah, it's more about learning methods, not just US based. And, yes, then thanks for the reminder, Bill. The 11th is the next virtual contest club meeting. And so I think we're covered. I think I wrapped everything up. And I love this. And I'll see you. Oh, and feel free to tag me in any sweepstakes you find. I might not be able to enter. I might not have time, but it gets you an entry. So it's at Contest Queen on Twitter and TikTok and YouTube, but I'm the Contest Queen on Instagram and Facebook because I was a little too late to the game in booking my name. Yeah. Okay. Good night. And I hope to see as many of you as I can in person soon. I miss hanging out with sweepers. Bye.